All right, we are live.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, Thriving Thursday Live with First Home Alliance. This evening, you have the First Home Alliance crew on this evening. It's Larry and Charlene. Thank you guys for joining us. So go ahead and like and share. Depends on your platform. You want to repost this out there. And if you haven't hit that notification bell on YouTube, go ahead and do that. We're going to be producing a lot of different shorts out there. We have years. I actually went back. We have about 9 years of material. And so we're going to start reposting some of that material out there. Most of our material was out on Facebook. And if you know that Facebook actually has sent us a warning and said, hey, those things that are over 30 days, we may be taking them down. So if we're not posting, sharing, some of those videos and things are going to be taken down. But we're going to be sharing some of our videos of a financial literacy series that we have been doing for a number of years since the pandemic. And we have rock your block shows that we've been doing for about 9 years. And also our gala, which of course we continue to talk about those things coming up, the annual gala fundraiser and a lot of things, the material that we had out there. And so we're going to produce some shorts. And so you're going to begin to see that stuff, that information and new information out on our YouTube channel and other social media platforms. So again, I want to tell you all guys, welcome this evening. And we're just going to have a little talk. It's our Thriving Thursday Live. And we're going to get this thing kicked off. Charlene, go ahead and tell our audience hello and welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you again for the Thriving Thursday conversation. We are in for a treat. Well, I guess it's a treat. We're going to be talking about compound interest. But before we get to that, let me tell you a little bit about First Home Alliance, who we are, the services that we provide, and where we provide those services. So, our inception, 2002. President and founder decided to create his own job after serving almost 25 years in the United States Army. And so his mother had purchased her first home, piqued his interest, felt like there was a need for the community. We needed that service, and I can tell you we definitely do. So what are the services that First Home Alliance provide? We provide pre-purchase counseling as well as education. Loss mitigation services. What are those? You're experiencing a hardship. You currently own your home. You need someone to advocate on your behalf to make sure that you do not experience foreclosure. First Home Alliance acts as that advocate to get you in a more sustainable situation. We also offer rental counseling as well as debt and budget management. Now, where are these services provided? They are provided in the state of Virginia, Maryland, as well as the south side of Chicago. But again, you hear me say it every single week. It really does not matter where you're located. Due to the awesome thing of technology, we can reach you wherever you're located. So if any of those services piqued your interest, or maybe a family member or maybe a friend that could use those services, we want you to stay tuned to the end of our Thriving Thursday so you can find out how you can get in contact with us. With that being said, let me throw it back to Mr. Laws.
Okay. All right, Charlene. Thank you for that. Charlene, there's this program that we've been out there. We don't have to promote it very much. It seems like these two first-time homebuyer programs that we have that basically throughout the state of Virginia. The first one was the first generational for first-time generation home ownership. Now, that particular program, we have exhausted those funds. Basically, those funds was exhausted within about 2 weeks. Actually, once we got the program on track, I would say 30 days from when it active, but it took us a couple of weeks, to get things rolling. By the time we had our website set up and made it fluid in reference to the getting people in to put in their packages and request basically application for the program, getting them through our orientation within 2 weeks, the funds were exhausted. We're talking about over $8 million exhausted very quickly. And so I'm letting you know that this second round is not first generation because we were a sponsor. Actually, the program is a state ran program. And so we are a sponsor, I would say. But right now, the funds that was allocated to First Home Alliance have been exhausted. So as soon as we find out, believe me, we're going to do a blast. We're gonna have a blast. We're introduce it here on live on Thursday. We'll introduce it at our first time home buyer workshop on the weekend. We're going to introduce all our social media. And we're going to have a special live, which will be a lunch and learn for our housing professionals. So most of it shows up for those particular down payment programs is our lenders. We'll let all the lenders know, hey, we're going to have this power hour where we have a lunch and learn. It'll be more than likely virtual, but it's a possibility. If we get a sponsor, then we will have it live in person. And so we will do a kickoff and we'll let everyone know as soon as possible if that program is kicked off again. So please do not stack up our emails and send us a lot of messages, which we are still getting every day. Do you have funds? Do you have funds? Do you have funds? The program is, as far as we are concerned, with our allocation of the first generation, funds have been exhausted. And so we hope that we are granted more allocation from the state so that we can administer those funds. But right now it's exhausted, and we do not know if there other funds would be allocated to us. But if they are, we are sponsored for this particular grant period, and we will let you know as soon as those funds are out there. Now, I will let you know we have the Spark. We have Spark, which is sponsoring. It's sponsoring partners. You know, for first-time home buyers, it actually buys down your interest rate by 1%, and there are some requirements for that. And I want Charlene just to tell us a little bit more about what we expect for our loan officers and their and potential homeowners to do to actually get into our pipeline, because those funds could be exhausted soon too. And so, Charlene, talk to them a little bit about the program.
Yes. So the wonderful program of Spark, which is, I'm correct, is sponsored through Virginia Housing. It's a great program that can help individuals buy down their rate, as Larry stated, by 1%. These days, and I provide the one-on-one counseling. It really is making a huge make or break type situation. Some individuals without this particular product would not be eligible for home ownership. So let me tell you a little bit about what we need to be able to process a person through the Spark Grant program. So First Home Alliance is asking that our loan officers who's participating with this program and would like to participate with First Home Alliance, that you guys submit a package. And I know, especially homeowners, when you go through this process, we were talking about the testimonial, or in our counseling session, I always talk about what's the pros, and then tell me what some of the barriers that you face during this transaction. One of the number one things is the amount of paperwork. The amount of paperwork that is required when you're going through a transaction purchasing a home. It is an abundant amount of paperwork. We do apologize, but it is what it is. So what's the paperwork that First Home Alliance is asking for? The very first thing that we really need you to do is to complete a registration. Sometimes I have a whole file and that person never completed a registration. So it's like, are you really here or are you not? So that's the very first thing that we need you to do, is to complete that registration. After you complete that registration, then we want you to just attend a little maybe 10-20 minute orientation. Why? We want to tell you about the services that we provide, because it's housing related. And just in case you may need us in the future, we want you to know that we are a resource. Okay. So once you complete that orientation, we ask that our loan officers submit a complete package. The thing about the Spark program is that it requires a one-on-one counseling session, but First Home Alliance, unfortunately, we cannot schedule an individual for a one-on-one counseling session until we have the required paperwork that is needed, which is required by HUD. Okay, so when we're asking you for these 19 attachments, there's a reason behind it. So that paperwork that you're going to be submitting is our agency disclosures. Okay, it's a financial workbook that we ask that you submit. We also want to see your financials. All right, we're not here to say yay or nay whether you qualify or whether you don't. We need this paperwork to be able to have a complete file. So we're asking for those financials, which include your last 30 days paycheck stubs, your bank statements, your taxes. Okay. Also, we're asking for a ratified contract. We're also asking for the lending application, as well as your Spark lock form. One thing that we get from the loan officers is requests to have money set aside. We would like to reserve this money because we have a client that just was ratified for a loan amount of $420. So they shoot us an email asking if we could set aside for this particular individual. I'm here to tell you guys tonight that there's no such thing. The Spark program, we do not allocate or reserve funding for individuals based off of email or a request via text. We must receive a complete package, and that individual must go through the one-on-one counseling process. Once that is done, management will review that file and whether they will approve or deny, but those funds are not allocated until that process is complete. We apologize because we understand that the homeowner or the future homeowner, and we also that we understand the loan officer is just like, hey, why you guys need all of this stuff? It's a HUD file, okay? So that's why we're asking for it. I know we may get on your nerves, but guess what? You get on mine too. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. We want to help the community. That's what we're
Gonna
here
ask
for.
that question, right?
All right. But no, that program is an excellent program. We work with wonderful community partners. But yes, there's a process to get into this program, and we just ask that you adhere to that because the common goal from First Home Alliance, as well as our loan officer, is to help individuals get into home ownership. Larry?
Yes. And so just to add on to that, and so thank you, Charlene, for explaining that to them. And so with this program, it is added to First Home Alliance first time home buyer program. So it gives us some added incentives. Of course, we want everyone to come to first time home buyer classes, attend those classes with first home alliance. We want you to attend our financial literacy classes. We want you to come out on our Thriving Thursday, all our outreach events. We get credit for that as you're participating because we are giving you useful and empowering information to help you sustain home ownership and become a solid home buyer and sustain home ownership for the long term. And so with that, and so this is added to our program to help. And so with the Spark and also with coming at as a first time home buyer, we want you to actually help us get more individuals to come into the door to understand that this information is empowering. Of course, it gives you added incentives in reference to getting a lower down payment to get into the home. And also, we provide the educational requirement so that you can qualify for additional programs with Spark, VHDA, and other HUD or FHA programs. So you get a lot of benefit out of it. And but with that, to help us get the word out and continue the services that we provide, which is mainly at no additional cost to the home or the potential homeowner. Currently, there's no additional cost, is to give that testimonial. And that testimonial is nothing more than a feedback. And so it's required for our HUD files. Now, not all the services that we provide are HUD basically files when you're talking about a HUD activity. Of course, we do report all our activities to HUD, but not all of them actually go in as a HUD activity. However, our counseling is a HUD activity. And so by it being a HUD activity, there's a lot of requirements and things, with validation and certification that we have to ensure that is done to ensure that you're getting credible service from a certified HUD counselor. And so we need for one of those things is that feedback. And so the feedback that we're asking, we call it a testimonial. Don't get afraid. It's feedback. And you have the choice of what level of information you want to share back to us or even share out to the community. Of course, a written testimony or feedback is great, but also you can evaluate our services, tell us the good, the bad, the ugly, things of that sort. But also you can do Facebook posts, social media posts, but you can also do in-studio interviews, which we need more of. Studio interviews is a way of outreach into our community, and you can be a part of that. And we have some great events throughout the year, both during the spring and also in the fall we have coming up. And we want those excellent testimonials that individuals that do not mind coming out. Of course, you can get a free entry, a complimentary entry to some nice events that we have where you come out and share your story with our audience. And so consider that. But please, we do ask that you do the testimonial slash feedback. That is a requirement for our HUD file for the Spark program. And along with that, there's a media release that you have to sign, basically to release, to give us the authorization so that we can share that information. And of course, there's no royalties. And so that is what the release is basically stating. So it's a media slash talent release that is required. So we really appreciate you working with us and being a part of our home buyer program. And we want to see that you prosper and be a successful homeowner as well. So really appreciate that. But I will say, if you're in the market for purchase of a home, and it is the season, it's always the season. But if you're here in this area with this a transit area, individuals are moving in and out. Kids are in and out of school and getting back. Jobs are being transferred, but also the housing market is sort of open now in reference to a lot of different opportunities. We have the professionals out there. If you are looking to build your team with real estate agents, lending professionals, we have a lot of partners here that can give excellent service, and you can choose from that selection, if you would like to pursue your home ownership. And we highly encourage you to use us as the doorway to home ownership. So please reach out to us and come in and check out our home buyer program. All right. Well, thank you, Charlene. Okay. Well, tonight we're going to share with you, we talk about we talk about debt management. We talking about managing your debt. We talk about household income. We talk about household management, money management. We talk a lot about credit. And so we do get a lot of questions about credit. We love empowering you with knowledge in reference to credit. But tonight, we're going to talk into this. It links on to the savings. It links on to savings. And then once you have a good savings plan, I'm not saying that you have to have all intact, because this savings plan, you're going to save for short term, you're going to save for midterm, you're going to save for some maybe a vacation or something that you have coming up. You could be saving for down payment, but you're going to be saving for long term. We're talking about for retirement and also for future investment. And so with this, you're going to be able to use some of those funds that you actually have set aside for savings into investment accounts. And so whether savings or investment, we want you to pay attention to where you're putting your funds, and pay attention to some of the language that is being stated, whether you are pursuing this on your own and you're reading those different options that you're getting on the app that you're using, or you go into your financial institution, or you may be listening to a provider. It could be a broker. It could be an agent that is talking to you about these different things. And so in this, and we're speaking of talking about interest. And we're going to talk tonight about compound interest. And we just show you an example of simple interest and also the compound interest, and show you the power it is in reference to compound interest. Compound interest basically is interest earned on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest. So, yes, of course, you have initial investment. That initial investment could be a money amount of, say, $1,000. And then you're paid interest on that. And I'll give you an example on the interest that's going to be paid on that. Say it's at 5%, you're going to get $50, $5 per month or so on that interest. And so that simple interest, you actually get paid interest on the principal. When it becomes compound interest, you actually get paid interest on your interest. Not only on your principal, but on your interest as well. And one statement here from Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't, pay it. And so if you don't understand about compound interest, so you do not use it to your benefit, basically you're paying it, and you're paying it to the benefit of those that actually understand it. And so we really want you to look at the compound interest and look at the evaluation of time as well. The time actually invested. And also, we are continue to stress that you get started early in reference to putting your money into a savings, putting it into a vehicle that's going to actually accumulate compound interest. So this is a sample here of sample earns only on principal. This will be the simple interest in reference to having an investment. And that investment is only gaining interest on that investment, only on the principal amount. And then we have the compound. Compound interest, it shows that it is earned on the principal and also on the past interest. And so this way, it is actually like, stepping on the gas. It's being accelerated where you're actually growing the bottom line at a high rate of speed. Okay. And so again, compound interest, it actually is a way of gaining more interest, more time, and increasing your investment faster. Time is very, very important. This sample here is showing where you would actually put in $1,000 at an 8% rate, and in 40 years, it would grow to $21,000. So that's 8% per year. And at the end of 40 years, it would grow. This is just straight interest. This is at the end of the annual where you get your 8% added on, and it would, over 40 years, it would grow to $21,000. And I want to compare that to, we'll go to the next slide here. We're going to compare that. We're going to show you how that can actually double with compound interest. Now, with this rule here, it's going to make you seem really smart, especially those that have never heard of the rule of 72. And this could be a question that you could ask your investment partner or individual. Speaking of you, saying that, I put in an initial amount of money. When will my money actually double? And this is using compound interest. And so by looking at this table here, it'll show you that if the amount that your rate double depends on the interest rate. And given the only thing you need one of the factors. The factor could be the interest rate. You use the rule of 72. It'll tell you how many years it takes to double. For instance, if you put in $1,000, just $1,000 compound interest, and the interest rate is at 2%, it would take you 36 years for that $1,000 to double. Given the same scenario, if you are able to get 10% interest, it would take you 7.2 years for the money to double. Now, 2%, whether it's in some of these accounts, I think some of the basic savings and CDs are rising. They're getting a little bit better, not much, but they get a little bit better. But if you have the option of taking a 2%, leaving it into a savings account, or using a vehicle that's paying 10%, you will see the difference in reference to how much that would take to double that. So $1,000 is going to take you 30 plus years, leaving it into a savings. Where if you put that same amount of money into a vehicle that's paying you 10%, you're doubling 7. So within 7 years is quite it seemed like a long period of time, but actually it's a short period of time when you're talking about a lifespan in reference to planning for maybe retirement or long-term savings. And so letting your money stay there for a number of years, you're wasting time. And you're letting someone else, again, like Einstein said, someone else is actually earning it and you're paying for it. And so you do want to look at those vehicles and opportunities that you can put your money into vehicles that's going to pay you a higher rate. Okay. And you can use that rule of 72 to help you calculate how soon it would take. Now, here's an example here of starting early. And so we have an example here, early Eddie. Eddie, he invested $200 a month at age 20 and for 10 years. And then he stopped. Early Eddie invests $200 a month for at age 20, and then 10 years to stop. Now, late Larry starts at 35 years. And so to reach the same amount that it would over a period of time, Larry would have to put in at $200 for a month, and he'd have to pay all the way to age 65. All the way to the age of 65, actually, to catch up with the same amount of money that Eddie started at age 20 and did it for 10 years, then stop. Whereas Larry would have to go from age 35 to 65, 30 years to put in that same amount of money to have the same amount at the end. And so time is very important in reference to investing, and also compound interest. You see how well that works, and it really speeds. Again, it's accelerating the work of your dollars. The cost of waiting. The most expensive thing in reference to investment and loss is actually time. The most expensive thing is time. Now, of course, we know that you can go out and gain other money. You can actually look for other ways of other vehicles, but what you cannot replace is the time. So let's not waste time. Waiting to invest is like skipping workouts and you expect them to run a marathon at age 40. And we know, whether it's 40 or even at 30, and some of you guys want to run older, that skipping workouts is not going to help you win a race. And so you don't want to skip time when it comes to putting your money into work for you and leaving it in vehicles that is not performing. And so whether you're talking about retirement accounts, and I think we have already mentioned that, and we're going to go deeper into some of those different accounts later in our discussions in reference to your Roth IRAs, 401ks, and also the difference between your Roth and your regular IRAs. And so you want to look at those different vehicles to see which one best fits you, but also the language in reference to the options that you're being given. You want to pay attention to that. And then, of course, some of the real life applications of reinvestment dividends, and also educational savings plan. The compound interest really is area that you want to pay higher attention to. Pitfalls and warning. High interest debt compounds against you. Just like we speak of the high interest that gains in reference to an investment vehicle or savings vehicle, high debt, the interest on high debt compounds against you as well. And so we have spoke of a few different ways of paying down debt, whether that's through the avalanche or the snowball effect. The longer it takes for you to pay off those high interest debts, the more of a pitfall that you're in, and also the longer it takes for you to dig your way out of that. And so you really want to pay attention to that. And if you're speaking of moving debt from one interest to another, do look at moving it from a higher higher interest bearing debt to one that's more lower interest on the debt, if you're looking at moving it in that direction. And it's highly recommended, if you're not going to pay it off soon, is to actually move it to a low interest debt. Now, how to take action. How to take action in reference to paying down your debt, and also getting in a position where you can begin to use these vehicles so that you can start compounding your interest. One is to automate your savings. We talked about that last week in reference to automating your savings. Many ways to do that. One, you could go to your payroll provider, your HR, go to the section, the military, you go to your PAC, let them know that you would like allocations or allotments set up that your savings is automatic. Whether it's the thrift savings, where you're buying back in a long time in the day, you used to buy T-bills on a monthly basis. So whether you buy bonds or stocks or mutual funds or whatever, and also just regular savings, you want to ensure that's taken out before it's actually put into your area, which I actually have an account set up called my spin account. And because everything that goes into that account is spend. And so you actually wanted to go your bulk of your funds to go into a savings, and then you extract whatever you're going to spend into a spend account. And then out of that spend account, that's where you set up your allotments to pay your working expense. But before you put it over there, when it goes into that savings and that account, that transit account, that is where you want your savings to come out so that you're going to be able to pay yourself first step payment, investments, and also look at some those vehicles that's going to pay you compound interest. All right. And so invest early, early in life. The earliest never too late. I think it may be a slide that's coming up. It says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. That was the very best time to plant a tree, and the second best time to plant to plant a tree is today. Okay, and that's the same as in investing. The best time to invest $1 could have been 20 years ago, but the second best time is to start today. And so invest early and be consistent. If you haven't heard of dollar cost averaging, that is the way to go. And we'll talk about dollar cost averaging a little bit later in our studies, but just go ahead and dollar cost averaging, and you can break that down into in many different ways. Is basically saying make it an average, make it consistent, and if it's a couple of $100 a month, or if it's just a few dollars a month, but go ahead and make it consistent. Make those consistent deposits into the savings, but also make consistent deposit into your investment account. All right. Reinvest your earnings. And so, of course, you can take the investment that you're making and the interest on that and spend that, but you have years ahead of you. You have time to really make it compound, is to reinvest those earnings that you get on your accounts. Also consider dividends that they're getting, those that are paying dividends on top of, those that some only pay when you transfer or sell. You also want to look at dividend accounts and look at those that to reinvest those as well. All right. And as mentioned, we want to avoid high interest debt. And the best way to avoid that, one, is if you have a consistent savings, then you would not have to go borrow money for those incidents that come up. Those incidents come up if you have a savings, and especially we talked about the emergency savings set aside for those things that are going to happen. Once you take the money out of the emergency savings, pay for that emergency. It's not going to affect your long-term investments. So get your investment set up. But while you're doing that, you want to reduce your high interest debt, and you also want to continue to look for compound interest on your investment. Okay, we're going to move to our last slide here. And the last slide is what I mentioned. The best time to plant that tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is today. And so start today. Open that account. If you need some help with an account, you need to talk to a counselor, a coach, a mentor to be there with you to help you set that up and get things automated and on track. And have an accountability partner, then give us a call and we'll help you with that. Get automated. Talk to your HR, your finance department. Make sure that it is automated straight from your paycheck, and also use the applications that you have connected to your bank. You also have some of the investment programs that links up with the major banks as well, and then increase your rate. And so look especially when it comes to your investment. Don't sit there and have a large sum of your money that's not receiving a good interest for you. Of course, you need your emergency savings. Emergency savings need to be very well liquid or semi-liquid, that you can get them in a short amount of time, but do not leave a large sum of funds sitting there in a low interest account. Put it into a higher interest, a higher vehicle, so that you can get the compound interest and make your money work for you. Okay, I'm looking here for any type of feedback. And so if you would like to put any of your feedback in there, please do send us a comment, give us a thumbs up. And of course, we want you to like and also subscribe. Okay, I will still be looking out for your comments. And so we're standing by for that. And Charlene, while we're standing by for that, we're going to probably cut this thing off early, but let's talk about some of the things that are coming up.
All right. So we have our next first time homebuyers class is going to be September the 20th. It's going to be our next first time homebuyers class, and that's going to be located at the McCourt building in Woodbridge. The rates, I just spoke with, one of our community partner. She's stating that we are seeing some rates drop. And so for those of you who are thinking about getting into the housing market, it be an excellent time. So you want to go ahead and sign up for that class. You can sign up for that class at, actually, you can reach us at First Home Alliance at www.firsthomealliance.org, or you can go to the Virginia Housing website, which is correct, www.virginiahousing.org, and sign up that way as well. Again, that class is going to be on September 20th at the McCourt building located in Woodbridge. What else do we have coming up? As always, every Monday we have our yoga with Tippi. Get those good financial fitness tips, or good financial tips along with a little bit of fitness, and that's every Monday at 7:15 a.m. We have our ongoing, our next big event, which would be our gala. And so on that day, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the gala, and then I'll let Larry talk to you a little bit about what we have with our partner, the American Legion. But during the evening event is going to be our annual awards gala, and that's again going to be on November 8th, located at the Hilton Garden, if I'm correct, and that's located in Woodbridge. Again, that's going to be November 8th at the Hilton Garden in Woodbridge. We do have early bird specials. So I'm not sure exactly how long that special lasts. So you want to go ahead and visit our website to purchase your ticket now. We are continuously looking for sponsors. So if you want to showcase your business, you can also get in contact with us at our website at www.firsthomealliance.org, or I can put in our chat how you can email us if you are interested in sponsorship. Larry, you want to tell them about what's going on during the day on that day?
Yes. Now, again, this is November the 8th. We're going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn there in Woodbridge. And those tickets for the gala are on our website at this time. You can also go to Eventbrite. Also on that day, the same day, at 11:30 a.m. until 1, we'll have a veteran appreciation. So that is the veteran weekend. And so we're having a veteran appreciation luncheon. That is going to be hosted by the American Legion Post 114. We will have a speaker, highlight speaker, and also we will be presenting some awards to some of our veterans. And there will be a flag dedication. Last year, we presented the flag to 100-year-old Carl Braxton, which is from Moffett Marines Corps, which is the oldest member of our post. And so this year, we're looking at presenting a flag dedication to one of our Korean War veterans. And so, if I'm not mistaken, we have a total of 2 Korean War veterans. Could be 3. I think one has left us already the last time I checked the roster. But one of those Korean War veterans more than likely will be getting, if they're able to join us. If not, of course, we have some Vietnam veterans, and so we're going down the list. And so we're going down the list here, honor our senior veterans. And so come out on November the 8th. We will be doing a flag dedication to one of our veterans, and also some other awards. And that will start at 11:30 to 1. And those tickets are on sale. That ticket price is $75 a ticket. And of course, we're looking for sponsors. And so you can sponsor a table. You have opportunity to set up an exhibit there as well. And so if you would like to sponsor, brand your business, please contact me or any other officers with the American Legion Post 114, and we will give you more information on how you can sponsor. But for your tickets, please go ahead and purchase those tickets. Look out on the American Legion Post Facebook page for the tickets, but you can also contact me as well for your tickets to go ahead and reserve your seat. All right. Well, thank you. I want to thank you guys for joining us, and continue to join us on Thursday. We'll be here next Thursday at 7 p.m. to give you some more information, and we want to continue to thrive in the community, and we want to help you thrive in the community, and we will do what we can to empower that on Thursday. And we'll see you then, but also don't forget Monday morning, that's Yoga with Tippi at 7:15. If you want information, continue to follow us on social media and visit our website. That's at firsthomealliance.org. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great evening.